let me set things up for Wytchwood real fast. I've got the link saved for that one, fortunately, so it's an easy swap. Game link is updated, and content warning is updated. Let's go ahead and do the thing. We'll pause that. We'll swap on over here. Let's do it. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, it's like I want to play Wytchwood. I do want to play Wytchwood. I was super tired this afternoon. I got up, I got out of bed a little over an hour before my stream time, and I was just slow moving today, which is completely okay. That looks very loud. Alright. It's fine. We'll do some Wytchwood, though. I should probably change this over, though. What were we doing the last time in Wytchwood? We were getting ready to hang out with a giant fish, weren't we? Cool. Investigate the lagoon depths. Right. Collect stuff as we go. Get away from me, crab. Right! We got here and then I accidentally clicked on the whirlpool because I thought we could go back. Have you told the other cat girls to scooch? Go faster? Do it better? Can't help but shudder under the powerful gaze of the monstrosity before you. A booming voice sounds throughout the cavern, as if you were in the very throat of the beast. Who dares enter my sanctum? I have come looking for a man lost at sea. The coils of the serpent shudder and wheeze. You brace yourself as the creature reels back and unleashes a cough loud enough to shatter a mountain. Pretty's doing mahjong, but horrible. The coils of the serpent- wait, I read that. Excuse me, have you caught ill, Master Serpent? You lad walkers are all alike, forever throwing your refuse into my waters. I've been poisoned by your insufferable detritus. My stomach aches. My insides burn. The bad Zhong. The worst version of Zhong? Mahjong's bad already, but it's the worst version of Mahjong. What's the matter? Did you swallow something you shouldn't have? I've swallowed many things. You should not be here, land creature. Now, you're not well, and I may be able to help you. Open up that gob of yours and let me take a look inside. Perhaps you have come to strike the final blow against me. Why should I trust you? You're being dramatic. I'm not going to hurt you, but if you don't let me take a look inside your belly, this sickness will surely fester. Doubtful. But perhaps I can humor you if you prove that you are friend to the ocean. Answer me these riddles 3. Only then will I trust your words, Landwalker. First of my questions. You pull my waters from the ground to quench your thirst. What manner of beast sits atop the well of your forest? It's a fish. Another question. You may bury your dead in the earth, but there is no escape from the call of the deep. Whose watery gaze watches over your graveyard? I'm pretty sure it's a mermaid. Final question. You landwalkers desire gold over all things. But in front of your baking house, what creature rules with true happiness? I don't know this one. A seagull? You have answered incorrectly! Wait, let me try again. My memory isn't the steel trap it used to be. We are the watery gays here. Fun fact. I mean, let's be real. I am a watery gay. It's fine. Alright, banking unit. In front of the bank, there should be a thing. Sorry, this looks so loud. Is that better? Was it fine before? Am I just imagining things? Could be imagining things. I imagine that it's in the marketplace. I gotta go to the marketplace. Okay. Gaze. Not gaze. I'm pretty sure I'm right about the mermaid and the fish, though. Because on top of the well is a fish. And I remember thinking that it was really weird that there was a mermaid in the... a mermaid in the graveyard? Where the hell is the bank? Y'all, please. That's the candlestick maker. Is there not a bank here then? Panda! Hi! How's it going? How are you doing? Maybe they just... Fruity, maybe they just have to think, like, really, really hard about the choices they're not making. Maybe they're all contemplating what brought them to this point. Also, thank you, Allie. Did you? What did you think? I'm gonna have to go back and watch the VOD. I'm sorry I wasn't there. Are you enjoying it? Yeah, no, sorry. Today was a very much just turn off my brain and stop functioning for a little bit kind of a day. Well, I'm glad you got around to playing it. That's fair. It is. I mean, it's a visual novel. It's very reading heavy. I'm really glad that you enjoyed it so far, though. Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna have to go back and check out the VOD. Arcade is wonderful. Wonderful friend of the channel. We love Arcade here. Her games are very fun. She's got a lot of different games to play. Oh, are you doing... Oops. Getting grabbed. Are you doing Croven's route then? If you... my choice in the nightclub was to go hang out with Twyla. Because I didn't like Croven's friends. They were being mean to our sweet baby Mary, and that's not allowed. Okay, yeah. Fish on top of the well. System's working out for you. I'm glad. Maybe it's a sign to not play? Consider? Okay, maybe we just guess. Maybe we just guess this last one. Maybe it's actually a whale in front of the whatever money establishment the serpent is talking about. That's fair, that's fair. Yeah, so there are, I want to say that there's 7 major endings for Cemetery Mary, depending on which route you follow. I'm also not entirely sure. I know that my nightclub choice definitely kind of ruined us getting the good ending. So choosing the opposite's probably for the best. It is a whale. I found it. 7 is what Arcade said? Okay, I couldn't remember if she had confirmed or not. So it's a good and bad ending for each of the main characters that you can hang out with, plus the true ending. I imagine I will probably need to follow a guide and or get some hints if I want to do the true ending at some point. But it's gonna be great. Awesome! No, that's wonderful, and I appreciate the fact that you're checking it out and getting the word about Cemetery Mary out there. It's a good game. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad that you're liking it as well. We dig Cemetery Mary around here. But yeah, you could always play another route on your own time if you wanted. Consider. Okay, we know all of... Oh my god, excuse me. We know the answers now. I should have gone with my gut feeling. I thought it was a whale, but... This is a fish. This is a mermaid. And this is... a whale. Let me, like, breathe incorrectly constantly. The enormous creature rolls back its yellow eyes, bellowing with laughter. The laughter quickly succumbs to another bout of violent coughing. Curse my miserable body. Can I not even enjoy a moment of levity? It appears I was mistaken about you, Landwalker. You have proven yourself worthy of my trust. Beast opens wide its cavernous jaws, filling the air with a fishy stench. Enter, but heed my warning. Break your word and I will digest you without hesitation. Let's go. In we go. Look, I'm pretty sure I could probably talk Arcade into doing a director's commentary with me at some point. Be like, yo, let's get this true ending. Tell me all about this game. If not on stream, then definitely probably in chat. Also, this man! Ahoy! Don't tell me that overgrown eel gobbled you up as well. Come and warm yourself by the fire. We ain't going anywhere soon. You look at the throbbing red walls of the monster's stomach and notice the discoloration and spotting. Campfire smoke is surely the cause of the beast's ailment. That could be. That could be. Again, I would have to double check to see if Arcade's down for that. I wouldn't want to sign her up for something she doesn't want to do. Actually, I came here looking for you, Captain. Oh, I'm sorry, my phone's blowing up and I need it to stop. Okay. How'd you know I was a captain? There's a little minnow waiting on the docks for her father. Oh, my little girl! My heart and joy, I promised I'd see her as soon as we anchored, but I never got the chance. Has it got anything to do with that fishy fellow captaining your ship? Raising his arms in anger, the man stomps his feet on the fleshy floor. The outburst causes the serpent another coughing fit, rocking you back and forth. That rotten son of a barnacle! We were just a few weeks from home when he conspired to mutiny. Ever since I told him the tale of the mermaid and her conch, he got this hungry look in his eyes. Ain't never seen someone so obsessed. So he and the other bad apples jumped me in the night and tied me up. The rest of my trusty crew as well. Then that flop and flounder made us walk the plank into the briny deep. I was praying to Neptune, and he must have answered my call. This great bloody serpent swallowed me up and saved me from drowning. Been stuck in here ever since. Can't seem to get out, but the fire keeps me from going all the way through the other end, at least. Oh, with that metal head of yours, you ought to have no trouble, passing through without much fuss. Just what I needed today. Say, all that smoke is causing our host great discomfort. I'm sure you'd both be happier if you parted ways. How do you suppose we do that? Let me see what I can cook up with that fire pit of yours. If one were to build up enough irritants, the beast may be provoked into explosively expelling the source. No, Fruity, please, not Monstro. Also, hold on a second. I'm realizing that one of the reasons Riku does do a murder, right? I'm realizing one of the reasons why my wrists keep hurting is because I lowered my chair the other day. And so instead of letting my wrists be flat, I'm doing this all the time. It sucks. I should get one of those, like, little gel pads or whatever for your wrists to lay on. Not the keyless keyblade. Riku, please. Potion of Blight, Royal Incense, Allergenic Potpourri. Hi, Llama! Hi, baby! Come here. Don't just stare at me. Come here. Okay, don't come here then. Cat. Potion of Blight, Royal Incense, Allergenic Potpourri. Lamia seems to be doing so much better, and it makes me very, very happy. Okay, let's do Smoke Pellet. Let's do Witch Spice. That should be everything we need for the incense, right? Great. Allergenic potpourri. We need dog hair, cat hair, and a rat tail. Can I leave? I know she always reverts back to being a piss baby. I am assuming that it's anytime anyone redeems the update. I did just get a call from the doctor yesterday, because we got her, because we did a culture on the bacteria that was in her bladder. Turns out what happened was she ended up getting a compounding bacterial infection, so it wasn't just like the one type of bacteria that ended up causing it. She ended up getting a second UTI on top of the one that she already had. Because of course she would. Because of course she would. But no, she is doing better. She did sleep on my bed with me all of last night and did not pee on the bed at all. So I am very pleased with her. But no, she's doing terribly, and it's not gonna be. She's still super sick. Wink. Okay, I'm not gonna shave Lamia though, just to get this hairball. We're not doing that. We gotta make. Sounds like we gotta make a cat treat. Where is the cat treat? The vet used the expression infections all the way down. No, but I'm sure they would have had they known it was a thing. Like, guaranteed they would have said that. Cannot stress enough that they would 100% say that if they knew. Kitty cat! Where did cat go? There's probably gonna be a gross herking sound, just as a heads up. Never mind, she just popped that thing out immediately. Great! We love that for us. Okay, what else do we need to do? We need a potion of blight. We've got everything for the allergenic potpourri. I need a newt eye, which means that we need a bait stick. Maybe we'll just do a couple of these. Time to head to the swamp. Sleepy. I am so sleepy. I'm sorry, can I go in here? Collect some water with the jar. Okay, I can collect water from here. Great. Now we know. Don't have to run back all of the time to get water. Great. You love to see it. I would like to find the shortcut so I can just get to the swamp super easy peasy. Please and thank you. Is it over here? No, but I am gonna get these because I think we're short on ropes. Reedy twine, whatever. Need to remember to pick up stuff as we pass by it, as opposed to waiting until I need it. Because I'm very bad at that. Also, infection's all the way down. My poor baby. Back up on the couch, though you can see her. Wait, right here! Right here! That's a llama! It's a llama! Hi! Just gonna hang out right there. This is where she lives now. I have gone too far. The apiary. It's not where I want to go. Bad turkeys.
Bees?
Bees. Gotta love us some bees. There were bees. That one time, there was that queen, and then we got her high, and then she gave us honey, and it was a good time. Is there another firefly over here? I don't think so. We love bees. Bees? Maybe we go to the other place full of fireflies. I was gonna say bees. That's not what those are. Let's go. Boop. 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 Hey. Okay. We have taken the absolute longest route to get to the swamp, but that's fine. Could just go here now. Even though the swamp, like, directly connects to here. Doesn't matter. We'll make it easy. Okay, why am I here? Newt. We need newts. Okay. Get away from me, mosquitoes. Goal is always to do a murder. We know this. Okay, there's a newt. Get it, newt. Newt, newt. Maybe we also explode a couple of dragonflies? Just because we can? Must acquire a gex. Is this a gex? Get a dragonfly. Thank you. I don't know how we're doing on dragonfly wings, but we will, again, just collect things as we find it. Good emote. We love a gex around here. Is there... Gex is less than gex? What? guys. Here. Eat it. Give me your eyeballs. Or is that pointing? Are you pointing towards the Gex? Sorry, my brain is... Have you seen this? Have you seen this gecko? Where are you going? Where are you going? Ma'am? There we go, okay. Sorry, my brain also just... I caught up, eventually. Took me a minute. But I finally understood. Do I have everything I need? Potion of Blight. Potion of Blight, Royal Incense, Allergenic Potpourri. We did it! We've got it! Let's go! Is this a Gex? Oh my god. Yeah, we probably won't be playing for very long. I am so tired today. It's fine. It's all fine. Probably go until about like 7:30, 8 o'clock. Half as long. Hour short-ish. Cause yeah, I wanted to stream today. I'm just very tired. And that's okay. Is it middle of winter? I guess it is. I guess technically it is. You're right. I'm kind of ready for... I don't know, the last couple of winters have been, like, particularly difficult, and I think some of that just has to do with the quarantining on top of... or just, like, isolating and staying at home on top of, just winter being absolute ass. Oof. Alright. Right, you get the normal sad, also the seasonal sad, also the circumstantial sad. I give it 24 hours. My bed is 24 hours. You set the smelly preparations beside the fire. Let's put the royal incense down. Oh, that's just what we say for all of them. Understood. You pile the eye-watering ingredients on the campfire and fan the flames. Soon, black smoke billows up and fills every nook and cranny with its stinging odor. Captain scratches his nose and stifles a great sneeze. Whew, that's quite a concoction. A serpent will feel more than a tickle in his throat. Feel a deep rumbling through the fleshy floor. Get ready to set sail, Captain. We'll be out of here soon enough. Kick up the smoky coals, spreading the aggravating haze until a rumbling quake knocks you onto your backside. Landswalker! What have you... Captain leaps into your arms, and the two of you clutch each other tightly as muscles contract violently beneath your feet. A surging contraction forces you up and out of the serpent's blowhole like a gunshot. You shoot out of the serpent's cavern and clear over the lagoon. Captain holds you tighter than a life buoy as you sail across the blue sky. The tiny harbor front below grows closer and closer until the hulking mass of a ship rushes up to meet you. With a crash of splintering wood and rushing water, everything goes black. You regain your senses and get to your feet. Despite feeling a bit soggy, everything seems to be in working order. Behind you, the fish's base of operations has been cracked open like an egg. Fishermen are busy rescuing shell-shocked sailors from the waters. Oh my, what happened here? You didn't see it! A great bloody cannonball came rocketing out of the sky and stove in the captain's pride and joy. Poor girl didn't even stand a chance. I ne'er seen a shot so powerful. I think all hands managed to get clear of the wreckage, though. All hands? What about the fish? The buccaneer wipes a single salty tear from his face, points to something familiar that is washed up on the nearby shore. You know what they say. Captain always goes down with his ship. Give me your hat! Appears to be the bicorn captain's hat last worn by the fish, waterlogged and shot through with splinters. You reach down to pick it up, but it flops on the sand like some beached sea creature. The soul of the fish. Great! We've done it. You find the captain and his daughter in a loving embrace. Oh, duh, I just knew you'd come back. My sweet little sea star. So sorry I made you wait for so long. Can you ever forgive this old wash-up? Y'all doing good? Great. We did it. Do we? What is this? Where does this go? That goes to the village. We still need to get the cat. And then we haven't met the rat yet. Let's go meet the cat, because we kind of know what we need to do for that one. Or at least we've already kind of started it, so we have something to follow. We have to go speak to the chandler, the baker, and the blacksmith. The blacksmith, the baker, and the candlestick maker. As it were. Please. Stop! My god. Okay. Terrible, awful, awfulness. Where do we need to go? That's to the village. Look, I know we've seen... Okay, here's the chandler. His shop is called the Undying Flame. Please. That insufferable baker. I'll tear his nose off next time I see him. Settle down, Master Chandler. You're being duped by a prankster. Ha! A prankster. It was that baker, I'm sure of it. I don't see no evidence to the contrary. You want evidence, eh? I bet there's a clue around here that will unveil the real truth. Get some evidence or get out! Cat's confession. How do I make this? I don't! This bag smells suspiciously of sulfur and has a shipping address stamped on it. Pier 3 Imports, Dockyards. Gotta go back to the dock. We gotta go back to the dock. Give me the rodent lard and that flower. Is there anything else in here? Absolutely not. We should probably go talk to the baker and the smith before we go back to the docks. You know. Just for good measure. That's a butcher. That's a fishmonger. Iron anvil. Here's our smith. Yo, dude, you got a lot of nails just lying around, which is pretty great. We love that. Okay. My guy. Ah, blasted Chandler. I'll wring his scrawny neck. Calm yourself, Master Blacksmith. You're being played for a fool. Fat chance. Only some hard evidence could ever convince me that it wasn't that blundering knave. Someone really has been sneaking around in here. There ought to be some clues left behind. Only evidence could possibly change my mind. Alright, what do you got, bud? Perfectly ordinary supplies. Nothing out of the ordinary here. Okay, these are all perfectly ordinary. Some fireworks have been hastily shoved into this coal barrel. Tag on the firework reads, property of the town watch. If lost, please return to the village gallows. We have so many places we have to investigate. Alright, Baker, where do you want me to wander off to? I guess we have to find Baker first. Meat shop. Baker is up this way, isn't he? Baker. Bake it till you make it. Good shop names. Hello, Baker. That oafish blacksmith just grinds my gears. I ought to give him a smack on the brow next time I see him. Master Baker, please, settle down. You've been tricked. I very much doubt that. Only a fool would believe that story without any evidence. Fine. You want evidence? I'll get you some. The true criminal must have left clues around here somewhere. Don't have it. Don't have the cat's confession. Perfectly ordinary supplies. Hi, Emmy. Give me your stuff. Give me your things. This strange vase doesn't look like it belongs in a bakery, and there's still some bugs and dirt inside. An inscription on the side reads, Harold Grimes, 17 to 17, hanged under the old grave tree for crimes he never committed. Why do you have this? Alright, let's go wander off. To the docks, since they are closest. I hate those mimics so much. Hate. What do I need for these mice? Snap trap. How's it going, Emmy? How are you doing? Wow, this is the first time I've seen you today. It's not the first time. It's fine. Give me the snap traps. Who are you? Wait a minute. Hey, come here. Oh, I guess it helps to have the proper one set. Tail. Give me your meaty morsels and your rodent lard. That's a good thing to do. It's a good thing to do. You missed the end of Tiny Bunny, which definitely lasted a much shorter time than anticipated. But that's okay. There was only like 15-20 minutes left of it. I'm still a bit salty about that, honestly. Okay, give me... I just want to like collect enough of these tails so I don't have to like do this anymore. To the docks! Let's go! Okay. Said Pier 3, right? That's 6. There's 3. That's a big pelican. This is the shipping address for the sulfur crates, but you don't find anything incriminating. You do, however, spot something wedged between the watery piles of the pier. Something must have gotten knocked off the docks, or was purposely disposed of. Let's reel it up and take a look-see. Okay, I understand. I was trying to use it and you wouldn't let me. You fish out an empty sulfur tin with a wad of wet paper stuffed inside. Though the ink is running, you can still make out the loopy handwriting. Another brilliant strategy by the world's most brilliant strategist. That's me, the cat. If you're reading this, then be sure to write my name down in the history books. I mean, not really. I'm not really fishing. It's on a mini game, so it doesn't count. What do you want, Travis? BB shark? BB shark. Do-do-do-do-do. BB shark. Do-do-do-do-do. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. I haven't booted up voice mod in a hot minute. I'm sorry, Fruity. If it makes it any better, I only know it because I worked in a daycare. Probably doesn't make it.
Yeah, much better. But at least it's an excuse. And that's fine for me. Is baby on? Do you like baby? Can you hear the baby? would say that this is thin and grabby. We need to do a surprise on a burglar. On a bandit? Yeah. Oops. Does Girl have the blade? Are we sure about that? I love the music in this game. Come get it, sir! I need you to not stand on top of the gloves, okay? Thank you, buddy. Guess what? I did take his hands. His hands are now mine? Also, I have to sneeze. I think I have to sneeze. I don't have to sneeze.
I was trying to wait to see if I had to sneeze, because if I did, I was gonna do a sneeze as a like, with the Titan voice mod, because I think somebody said they wanted to hear that at some point. No, sneeze left. Sneeze isn't real anymore. Big sneeze. It almost make my sneeze sound like a real sneeze. Allie, it was Allie. I couldn't remember if it was you or Cyril, honestly. But good. I'm sorry that my sneeze decided to go away. It knew my plans and was like, not gonna happen. It's very rare that we have it pulled up while I have to sneeze. Oh, okay. You pluck out the slip of paper from under the gallows. Looks like a torn notebook page, hastily stuffed in a crack, almost wanting to be discovered. If you're reading this, then you've no doubt been witness to my greatest crime spree. I, the cat, will be remembered throughout the history as the greatest underground mastermind. Cyril would want to hear a baby fart. Too bad I don't fart on stream. The town flatfoots will never notice a couple parade fireworks missing, and that blacksmith buffoon will lose more than a few chest hairs. How arrogant. This proof ought to convince the blacksmith of the cat's involvement. Ticket! And then... graveyard. Should be able to get to the graveyard in time. Oh my god, I need to stop yawning. Tired or not? Baby fart doot doot doot. I guess it would be baby fart toot 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 toot. Baby fart toot 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 toot. Not a toot of Jericho. No, no, no. No string toots, not ever. Not even once. You can't, it's not gonna, it'll never. Not ever. Toot, 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 toot. To the graveyard. Oh no, I'm gonna have a stupid tune stuck in my head all night. Thank you, Travis.
Oh, jeez. I shitted. And farted.
What am I doing? Who are you? Very bad case of the earworms, though. No, you did too soon. Sit. Give it just another minute. Try it again, and then if it still doesn't work, I will play it for you. Okay, where in the butthole am I going? Hanging tree. crooked fellow peers down at you as if you're someone else coming to make fun of his eternal predicament. You spot a piece of paper floating inside his translucent body. What you got there? Don't suppose I can convince you to cough up that paper, can I? Spirit salts. I can do that. Sneevils. He sprinkled the exercising salts onto the ghost. He sputters and seizes up the paper suspended inside his head before going back to swinging as if nothing had happened. Looks like a page of someone's diary. Hi, TK! Thank you for the contribution to the Sinner Sandwich. Annie, thank you as well. How's it going, buddy? How are you doing tonight? Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I keep yawning, and it's not you, it's me. We do keep forgetting, but thank you, Fruity, for the contribution as well. We're all tired. Everybody's tired. It's good. It's been snowing here all day, and I'm just like so sleepy, but it's okay because I do have got my smiley blanket. Always have my smiley blanket. I'm never without my smiley blanket anymore. It is generally safe to assume that the smiley blanket is in my lap. Gotta get yourself a smiley blanket. I recommend everyone has a smiley blanket. It's a good blanket. Any blanket will do, though, honestly. But yeah, it's just, it's snowy and cold, and it's been a week. Green fuzzy blankets also work too. Just good blankets. Got a blanket that you like? Just bundle up with it. But yeah, we're probably gonna end soon, because I'm very tired. But this has been nice, doing at least like a short stream. Alright. Hi, Smiley! Smiley has been summoned. I mean, I guess you've been here. You were here earlier. Do you want me to? Sometimes I fold you up and put you next to my head so the cats have a place to cuddle up. I can send you more pictures of my dong. Richard! I could send you more pictures of Richard. The jokes with this blanket are endless. It's very good. He's right there. There he is. There's Richard. He's hanging out right here. Right with Llama. Smiley. We're a couple of goobers, is what we are. You want to know what we are? We're a bunch of goobers. It's fine. It's all good. But yeah, let's get through this. My best plan yet! These grape bugs will make the baker's buns taste like embalmed eclairs. I'll just dump the dirt out of this stupid urn to carry them. Should be proof enough to convince the baker who the real culprit was. Take it. Alright, question. Do we want to give this evidence over to the shopkeeps now? Or save that for Monday? I'm thinking save it for Monday. I think we're gonna save it for Monday. I've just asked you what you all want, and now I'm being like, no, I don't care what your opinion is. We're gonna wait. I will get us at least back to the market, though. Yeah, it's a short stream today, but you know what? That's okay. I'm I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sometimes I just have to verbalize what's happening, so that I can make a choice, and I did. Oh, Lister. We love Lister here. Lister, good dog. Oh, it's probably good that we stopped now because Wytchwood has an update. Literally, right now. We did make some progress, and that's very good. Yeah, sorry we're cutting stream a little short today. I'm just so dang tired. But I am glad that we did a little bit. Because I missed y'all this morning. But I also needed a break, and it was good. Who's on right now? Lots of people. Lots of people are on right now. It's true. Roundabout was only an hour and a half. Yeah. It's nice because I know I can, like, y'all are cool with it. Y'all want to go hang out with Ghosty? Ghosty 1031? They're doing some God of War. God of War? We like Ghosty here. Trade. Same brain, Allie. Same brain. Alright. There are the raid messages, not sub messages. I am tired. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Honestly, y'all are great and fantastic and lovely and wonderful. I will be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central to do some whatever that game is. Deadly Premonition. We'll check out some Deadly Premonition this weekend, and I'm very excited about that. And then we'll get back to our stuff this next week. I'm gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do in the evenings again. Once we finish Wytchwood, we'll do Chicken Police. That is the plan there. And then yeah, I'll figure out what we're doing in the evening and maybe announce it ahead of time. Maybe not. We do gotta find Thomas. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a good weekend. I love you guys. Take care of your dang selves. Have a good rest of your time zone. And we'll see you next time. Alright? Alright. Alright. Alright.